Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Strong Gym Dubai. What a night we have in prospect. I'm Neil Pickup and I will be your lead analyst and com for tonight, alongside multiple world champion and professional standout from the United States of America, Monster Michael Todd. Mike, what a night in prospect, mate. What a night.
Oh my God, we're going to find out tonight. That's for sure. This is exciting times.
I mean, you must have mixed emotions. You're fresh off the back of this yourself, Michael. Not long ago, I was commentating your own efforts out in Dubai. How do you feel about tonight?
Well, it's a little different spot for me sitting here doing the commentating position instead of being on the table, but it couldn't be a better match of two guys who have history and both want to win. So I'm heavily invested in the outcome of that main event, but we also have two other undercard matches that I'm pretty invested in as well.
Now, you talk about being invested in a match. I genuinely cannot remember any arm wrestling match that I've seen where so much passion, so much emotion has been poured into this thing from the fans, the viewers, both hardcore and casual. There's really a lot of emotion surrounding this one, Michael.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Devon Larratt is the most popular arm wrestler on the planet, and he has a troll army. These guys love him and will do anything for him. And then you have John Brzenk, the greatest arm wrestler of all time, and anything he says is just like the gospel. So it is funny to see the fans conflict with one another. And in that press conference, I could see it was getting to Devon a little bit, some of those John supporters. So I think we're in for an exciting night.
Absolutely. Devon Larratt, a man who's shown courage under fire in his day to day life, but this is bullets of a different kind, and Devon is going to be feeling the heat right about now. A true test for the GOAT. And as you rightly say, Michael, two amazing matches to lead us up to that. We'll see Genadi Kvikvinia, Ermes Gasparini, Brandon Allen, Larry Wheels. What an absolutely incredible lineup this is going to be. Probably the most highly anticipated arm wrestling this year. And to be perfectly honest, if you're not bristling with this one, I'm not sure you're alive. Any last minute predictions, Mike, before we get this thing underway?
Just excitement, passion, adrenaline, ferocious. Oh God, it's so exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hand you over now to Bill Collins, and he's going to give us a bit of a walkthrough of the rules
And
involving
welcome
King of the Table.
to King of the Table 2. I am your host, Mark Boyd. We are live here from Dubai at Strong Gym. I am here with our head referee, the legend himself, Bill Collins, who is going to take us through the rules of the super matches tonight. How about it, Bill?
Thanks for that awesome introduction. Today's match is going to be the best of 6. If we have a tie 3-3, we'll run into a 7th round. The competitors have 30 seconds to get your grip. If they can't get their grip within 30 seconds, we'll go into referee's grip with a strap. We go a little bit sooner on the strap if both competitors agree. After each match, the competitors will have 90 seconds to kick back, try to get some blood flowing back on their arm. Today is a 3-foul system, meaning that they get 3 fouls. We also include a running foul system, meaning that while they're arm wrestling, if a small infraction happens, we are not going to stop the match, but that foul will count. If they get a foul, they have to pin their opponent in order to get a restart. All running fouls accumulate. So they
Okay, Ozzy, can we get a little bit more volume from the event, please, mate?
And lose the match. Other fouls that they can encounter is when they grip up, they cover the top of the thumb knuckle. There's no body contact, such as the face, shoulder, while they're arm wrestling. They cannot cross over the center line of the table. Their elbow must stay in the perimeter of that elbow pad at all times. They cannot lose contact with the peg. If they gain position, we will be giving them a foul as well. There's no intentionally pushing the arm wrestler, the opponents off the table or off the pad. Humorous declining towards the arm wrestler in the neutral, center, or losing side of the table. If they don't come up, they will encounter a foul. All fouls will be counted. Intentional slips, they will go into a strap. they have to pin their opponent on the winning side of the table. So if they smash down right in the center of the table, the match will continue. That win has to be on the opponent's side of the table. The competitors must protect themselves at all times. If there is a rule discussion or a rule briefing between the arm wrestlers, the final decision will be by the head ref. If there's an interpretation on any rule, it will be decided by me as well. I hope everybody has a good show. Turn it back to you, Mark.
Thank you so much for that. A round of applause for Bill. He's going to be overseeing tonight's matches. The best of the best. I'm going to hand now back over to the commentary team, Neil Pickup and Michael Todd.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time. But before we get things underway, I want to come to you, Mike, just for a little bit of a lead-in for people to let them know exactly what we are looking at here. The first of our matches tonight, the supercharged Georgian, Genadi Kvikvinia. And he will be facing a man with massive reputation and a lot on the line tonight in the Italian monster, Ermes Gasparini. What can the guys expect tonight?
Those are two of the top arm wrestlers in the world currently right now. We have not seen a lot out of Genadi in the last few years, but we've seen a lot of training footage, and the man is an animal. He's a guy that I've wanted to arm wrestle for years because once the match stops, he goes crazy. In my opinion, Ermes' only chance to win is complete control. If he does not control the Georgian's going to make a bad day for him.
Now, interestingly, both these men have progressed through the weight classes. We saw them both start as light heavyweights. They got bigger, they got more powerful, they got more reputation. But interestingly, they've never met before. Two very different looks, two very different feels about these arm wrestlers. Who do you like, Michael?
Well, it could go either way. You have a strong hand in Ermes Gasparini. You have a very well-rounded arm wrestler in Genadi Kvikvinia. But I'm going to be honest, I have a date with Genadi in about 9 weeks, so I need him to be victorious.
In terms of the advantage, the opportunities early, who do you think needs to grip this match by the neck early doors?
Man, like I said, in my opinion, Ermes has to have complete domination of this match. If he does not do that, he is in for a very, very long night. So he's going to have to take it early, because if you let Genadi get any bit of confidence, that man will arm wrestle until he dies. He's crazy.
And an enormous amount of pressure on the shoulders of the Italian, Ermes Gasparini. We've just seen him come off a loss against Alex Cadeccia. He will be looking for redemption and to restate his claim as one of the best arm wrestlers in the world. He gets the opportunity to do that tonight against Genadi Kvikvinia. We'll be right back with that in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But first, we go to a quick commercial break. See you soon.
Is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is coming to you with a live stream show from
Millennium Place, Barsha Heights Hotel.
Follow us on social media. Link below. See you.
See you.
boohooman.com.
First up, to my left, weighing 125 kilograms, 275 pounds, all the way from Italy, the Italian gladiator, Ermes Gasparini. rounds, Genadi!
Here we go, monster Michael Todd. And let me tell you now, I am absolutely bristling like I was living under Genadi's beard. This should go off both these men. Super explosive. Anything you picked up on those walkouts?
I haven't seen anything yet. My screen's still saying the stream's going to start soon. So if you have it on yours, tell me what's going on.
Okay, brother, I will take over at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Genadi Kvikvinia, the man with the Zeus-like beard on the far side of the table, is Ermes Gasparini. And this is intense. Both men, such massive hitters. Both so intense, so explosive. And this is super important. The first round means so much. Watch for that blistering attack from Gasparini. He'll be looking to capitalise, to utilise that hand and wrist.
Okay, so this is awesome. I can see what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, Mike, you're back, brother. I was missing you, mate.
All right.
I was missing you.
Man.
Here we go.
So apparently we had a slip.
Nominated strap. So we got a nominated strap, and Gasparini, you can see how much it means to that young man. Michael, a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Ermes tonight.
Oh, absolutely. He needs this. After his loss to Alex Gardesha, he was an overwhelming favorite when they announced that match. And for him to lose 6-0 in that fashion, he has to have a good performance today.
Huge amount of pressure put on Ermes Gasparini's shoulders by the arm wrestling community due to recent performances. And he comes from a long line of stellar Italian athletes, starting way back in the day with his father, Massimo. And we've seen so many talented pullers come out of Italy, but none like the man we're looking at now, Ermes Gasparini, the gladiator. And the strap being applied, who does that favour, Michael?
I'm going to say it's going to favor Genadi if he gets any purchase in the match whatsoever. I mean, Ermes has a great hand, but he is tied to literally a monster, a 317-pound Georgian monster. He does not want any of this, in my opinion.
No cover in the top.
I may be wrong, though.
He will be looking for the stop. Can he put the brakes on the Ferrari? The man from Italy, Ermes Gasparini, known for that speed, known for that explosivity. Genadi Kvikvinia, the intensity. And one thing we have learned recently about Ermes, and we're seeing evidence of it now, Michael, he wants everything in the setup. He needs to be comfortable there, and that can take the edge off him.
No doubt, no doubt. He's one of those guys that has to have the perfect setup, and you saw that against Gardesha. He never got comfortable. He is not looking super comfortable here either. I cannot wait to see what happens on this first go.
Down go those thumbs. Watch for Bill Collins now. He will wrap the hands. Be ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Lateral, no lateral.
Lateral. There, and you can see Gasparini not happy, but he's got the hand control. Starts to drive. Position for Gasparini, and that was close if it wasn't. Oh, shot fired. Ermes. Gasparini with the
Yeah, he needed that. He needed that. So obviously, Genadi's hand and wrist did not hold up. He did have some arm, but he tried to back pressure to stop the match when he should have applied more side pressure, in my opinion.
Literally pulled underneath Ermes Gasparini and gifted him the hand and wrist control. And as everyone knows in arm wrestling, hand and wrist is king. We're going to see so much evidence of that on the show tonight, but what a start from Gasparini. That would have done the young man's confidence a world of good. What's going to be going through the mind of Genadi Kvikvinia right about now?
Well, he's realizing he's not going to out-back pressure. He's not going to beat the hand. Here we go in the slow. It's about to show the slow-mo. Boom. He hits back. His wrist gets compromised. What he should have done is more down pressure on his elbow and started shoving palm into the wrist of Gasparini. He tried to hold everything on his bicep, and that's just not the right route to go right there.
Very, very static also. Extremely static positionally there. Seemed to be waiting for the hit of the Italian. Very dangerous move. Got a tiger by the tail and was punished for it there. And that's a great start for Ermes Gasparini. His ace came out early. 1-0 Italy. And you can see there's a new vigor, a new stride to the table.
Oh, no. Yeah, Gasparini definitely needed that. He is going to have some confidence right now. Do not count out Genadi Kvikvinia. The guy's a warrior. I do believe if he goes now more offense on go in the strap and gets it to his side of the table where he can transition to a press, Gasparini could definitely be in trouble. But right now, Gasparini is in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Ermes Gasparini capitalized on his ace move in the first round, and it's now up to Genadi Kvikvinia to show some of that versatility that he has. May we be seeing a little bit of ring rust? Very active. Slip, and we will go to the strap match once again. Neither man will be too worried about that, but it does give the opportunity to do different things, Mike.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, he does occasionally get to train with Levon, but normally in his practice sessions, what I see, he is the stronger athlete. Sometimes you need to feel somebody who's going to put you in bad spots, and I think that little bit of ring rust is there, but he knows what he's in for right now. He's felt the power of Ermes Gasparini, so now it's time to make an adjustment.
Very, very interesting start to the match, and the nerves will still be jangling in both these individuals. Less so in Gasparini. He knows now that he has the tools to win the match. Got to make it stick, got to make it count, and you can see how intense he is. Got to be honest, a little bit of nerves etched on the face of Genadi Kvikvinia, which is normal. He's still got to find a foothold here, Mike.
Rightly so, but he's letting Ermes get a phenomenal setup. The height of Ermes' hand is just overwhelming over the top of Genadi right now. He's, I think, like you said, I think he is nervous and he's given up too much of the setup right here. I do think his hand and wrist are going to continue to get caused, especially in these setups. But if he hits with enough back pressure and side pressure and can get Ermes' hand past his shoulder, that'll give him the opportunity to transition to the press.
Bill
We're going to see what happens.
Bill was trying to move Ermes' elbow back a little bit, as you rightly pointed out there, Mike. Ermes really carving up, circling that hand up, trying to drive that lower palm forward, gain the height in the setup. That will allow him to get a more full, complete hit into the match, and we saw how effective he is from that position. Very explosive colour. And you can see Genadi not happy at all with the hand position there.
No, I mean, he let him get a lot before that, while that strap was being applied, and you know he's feeling uncomfortable right now. Oh, this is a crazy match. Now, this is the thing about Ermes. When he pulls some of the same links, there you go.
Oh, drove underneath him there, Michael, and Gasparini looking so powerful. Drives to the side, surely no finish from there. Huge ask for Genadi Kvikvinia to pull this match back from there.
If he holds on to it, he's got a shot. But Ermes can transition to that press. He needs to watch his elbow. Oh, I like it. I like what I see. Oh, no, here comes that transition. Oh, elbow foul. Dude, they missed an elbow foul right there.
Popped off the front, but interestingly, who's going to feel those bullets more? Who's going to feel the wear and tear in the arm more? Will it be Kvikvinia, or will that put the brakes effectively on Gasparini? He's the guy that's looking for the fast finish, and this is obviously over 6 rounds. It could be a long day if some fatigue gets in that arm.
It could be, and I think you're right, but in my opinion, that match still took more out of Genadi than it did Ermes. Genadi needs a little bit more side pressure. He was real close to coming off the back of the pad with his elbow. He just barely had that tip on the back. He's almost on the back of the pad. Ermes does have the ability to transition to press just like he did, but he did pop off. He got away with the elbow foul right there. I still think Genadi's in it, but one more like that, and I don't know what to that Genadi can do. I've been in that position before, and that kid is strong.
A little bit of inexperience in some respects, a little overexcited from Ermes there. Just popped off the front going for the finish, but he had the courage to move in for the press. And to be perfectly honest, the most concerning thing here, if you're in the Genadi Kvikvinia camp, would be on the starts, his direction looks poor. Genadi at the moment making a lot of bad choices on that start, and twice we've seen him pull underneath on the hit, and that is gifting the hand and wrist position to a very, very powerful man. And from there, Ermes Gasparini able to go to work, Mike.
I completely agree. Now, I also think Genadi doesn't have another option on the start. If he tries to shoulder press on the start, he's going to hit Ermes Gasparini's wedge. It's the levers, it's the length of the arms that are even that's going to put the advantage in Ermes on his side of the table. See, that's the thing. When Ermes just got handled by Alistair Detcha, but that's because he's a posting style top roller who ran into a longer lever and just got beat. He got out leveraged, right? He is pulling some with the exact same lever right now, and Genadi's hand and wrist just aren't holding up. Now, you may see him try to do a shoulder press, but I think it's a bad idea. I think he needs to stop the match again, more side pressure, and then just bring that shoulder in and put the wear and tear on Ermes' arm. And I think if he gets to the position, he should not pin him. I think he should hold him and wear that bicep out.
I couldn't agree more. And we've heard in the past people that have trained with Genadi Kvikvinia, such as Levan Saganashvili, have pointed to the fact that if he does have a weakness, it would be the hand and wrist. And it sounds like that message has been heard loud and clear by Ermes Gasparini. He's really capitalising on that, and he looks like he's got a very dominant hand and wrist at this stage. So can probably afford to, like you say, just base his elbow and wait it out a little bit and time this thing a little bit better. I would expect we should see the strap again, but you never know. Let's see.
Yeah, they're just going to the strap. Genadi's not going to be able to hold on to him. I mean, it's going to go strap, or it's going to go bent wrist press and then to the strap, unless he can get that fast pin. We're in for a good match here, round 3. Ermes has a lot of confidence right now. You can tell Genadi is wondering what the hell happened. What's going on right now is exactly what I planned on doing to Genadi. I want to take his hand. I knew his hand and wrist was going to be the weakness. Like I said, you do not want to give this guy any bit of confidence, because once you let him believe he's in the match, he is a hard man to beat. But right now, I don't even know if he thinks he's in there yet.
Certainly looks a little concerned. Genadi Kvikvinia not found that settling point yet. He's been very, very much on the defensive, and he's the kind of guy that you will see the confidence. When he feels like he's got a bite in the match, you'll see it. He'll announce it. He'll shout it to the crowd, and he will let you know, and his opponent know, that he feels he's got a bite. We've seen nothing at all from him right now. It's a subdued, quiet version of the Georgian. Can he find a foothold as we go into the strap for the third time?
Yeah, he's going to have to wedge that shoulder in there. Like I said, I don't think he should do it on go, and it doesn't look like he's for that. I feel like he needs to hit right elbow to left rear and just wedge his palm of his hand into the wrist of Ermes and make Ermes' bicep and brachialis wear out.
Of the two, Ermes looks like he's got a far superior position in the early rounds here. Bill Collins wraps the thumbs. We'll see the hands closed momentarily, and be ready, ladies and gentlemen. Again, some protestation there from Genadi Kvikvinia as the hands wrap. Be ready, ladies and gents. Collins trying to settle the guys.
One foul.
Yeah, no choice really there, to be perfectly honest. It was a massive, massive movement from the Georgian right before the goal.
Yeah, that was a Devon Larratt foul. Here we go.
So the hands closed down. Be ready. Needs that side pressure, Kvikvinia, but again he goes under. Little superior now. This is a bigger drive.
That's better. That's better. That's better. Now transition.
Forgot his hand and wrist, and it's a big drive, and there's the pin. Ermes Gasparini explodes, ladies and gentlemen. Enormous drive to the pad, and it's the top roll victory from Ermes Gasparini. 3-0 shown on the board for Ermes Gasparini.
That was very impressive by Ermes, but I really saw a fatal flaw in Genadi right then. Once that first offensive surge, he should have never came back to the center. He should have immediately drove his shoulder to the center and just rested on that bicep. But I mean, it's hard to do that in the middle of a match. I mean, it was his first chance to even get a purchase on his arm to even get him over on his side. But right there, that's where he made the mistake.
Enormous drive off the start, but straight away you can see that Genadi was panicking a little bit. Moved to the side a little bit early, and he completely forgot about the hand and wrist, and all that opportunity was taken by Gasparini. Collected himself, stayed compact, stayed with his arm, gathered the hand and wrist, and then drove the counter, an effective counter.
Absolutely, dude.
In the corner there also.
I just looked back at Ron Bath and just shook my head. I'm sitting here thinking, dadgummit. I don't know what this means for me in 9 weeks, because Genadi's supposed to be my next opponent. I need him to come out right now and do something special. You got to give credit to Ermes. He came ready. He, like you said, he's coming off that loss, and he had something to prove today. So he is not going to go down. I mean, he wants it. He wants the 6-0 sweep. He wants dominance. But I still think Genadi, if he gets into this match right here and he puts some fatigue on his arm, he could 3-3 this thing.
Now then, here we go. Ermes Gasparini. Genadi Kvikvinia. This was a night for upsets, and a lot of people had their money on Genadi Kvikvinia. And at the moment, the Gladiator is proving everyone wrong. And to be honest, he's looking great tonight. He's arm wrestling intelligently, Michael, utilising that weaponry that he does have, the explosivity, the superior hand and wrist. A great showing from the Gladiator.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. This is what we expect from Ermes Gasparini. Like I said, his last outing against Alex Kardeccia, he just ran into the longer lever and he got out top rope. You put that man against another guy with the same leverage as him, and it's going to be a very hard day. It's hard to beat his hand and wrist. His hand and wrist are like iron, and the young man is definitely putting on a show right now.
And you can see, looking at that heavily inflated forearm of Genadi Kvikvinia, that the lactic acid is rushing into that arm. That's going to prevent and hamper his movement. He needs to try and collect himself a little bit here. He's rushed in his movements, panicking a little bit and dove for the pad. And he's got to try and find a solid foothold, get the brakes on and get some positional advantage before he goes for that pin.
I agree. I'm still of the opinion that if he hits him hard enough side pressure like he did in that first offensive surge, and will immediately take his right shoulder and shove it behind his hand, he can put enough pressure on Ermes' bicep, his lower part of his bicep, and his radial brachialis that he could fatigue him and start getting some wins here. But if he stays all back pressure and dragging with his hand compromised, Ermes will continue to do the same thing: climb, transition, press.
Here we go. Down come the thumbs. Bill Collins will wrap the hands, and we will be underway again. Last chance saloon here for Genadi Kvikvinia, and you can see Genadi still not happy, and that's a warning to Gasparini for the climb.
That's a foul. I believe it's a foul, right? If they don't, because they're basically in a referee set grip or whatever. Yeah.
Foul for Ermes. And Genadi been showing that frustration about the climbing throughout there, but really smart arm wrestling tonight from Ermes. A little smile from Bill Collins as he looks at the Italian there, and you can see the determination etched on Gasparini's face.
Gasparini needs to watch that right elbow. He's at the very front of that pad.
Yeah, no room to sort of scoot forward and try and make his arm a little bit more vertical, which we've seen him do in previous rounds. He's trying to block the side pressure, and he's done so effectively at this stage. But again, keep your eye on that elbow. Down come the hands. Again, Genadi not happy at all there. We are underway, ladies and gentlemen, on a big drive, but again, a little panicked there. Genadi Kvikvinia, and you can see the transition from Ermes. Confident to come into the place. There's an enormous drive, and that was the pin. We've got a down
elbow foul.
Calling something there. I think it's an elbow.
That's the second elbow foul. So what is it? 3? Yeah.
One each, I believe, in fouls. I think Genadi just got the elbow foul. I saw the ref and I thought that he called a pin.
I thought he did too.
Not a pin.
Yeah. Well, I thought he called a second foul on.
Yeah, looks like we've got 2 fouls on Ermes, 1 foul on Genadi. Looking at the scores.
That's what I see it.
See this end on fouls. Oh, capitalised on the hand and wrist straight away. And you can see that Kvikvinia's hand is gone. It's all over the down. Solid victory. And Ermes Gasparini, a bit of a masterclass there, Michael. Faultless performance in many ways. He did what he had to do.
Oh yeah, he needed that bad. Like we said that in the pre-match.
Well done to Ermes Gasparini there on the victory. 4-0.
Or no, is that it? Are they running all 6, or do they just do best of?
I would have expected we'll see all 6 run here, but
Bill and
Sergey heading backstage, so I'm assuming
the footage.
It says winner Ermes Gasparini.
Yes, sir. And Ermes is headed backstage. He's gone to celebrate this thing already. But Michael, let's focus on what we just saw out there. If you came with a game plan and you executed that game plan as well as that young man just did, there's nothing more to be said. It was the Ermes Gasparini show tonight.
No doubt. Like I said, very impressive performance. It is a much-needed win on Ermes to get him back in the conversation.
Champion's response from that crushing defeat that he suffered at the hands of the very impressive Alex Kvikvinia. But tonight, he stamped his authority on this match and he's defeated a dangerous opponent in Genadi Kvikvinia. How did you rate Genadi's performance tonight? Certainly seemed like he showed a little bit of sign of nervousness and a little ring rust.
Yeah, so like I said, we hadn't seen anything from him since 2018 when he lost to Dave Shafee 4-2. And the prior performance to that was in Moldova, and he had lost to Alex Kvikvinia there, and I believe Pushkar. He looked super strong in his training. I had talked to Levon personally. He told me his hand and wrist were suspect. So when I accepted the match, that's what I was going to attack as well. I think he has phenomenal power. I do believe ring rust is real with certain people, and I think him being off the table and just focusing on these big, heavy lifts has actually been a detriment to his table IQ. I didn't see the Genadi that I'm used to seeing.
Now, interestingly, a little bit of backstory around this one for anyone who saw the press conference yesterday that was put on by Coresports. Some interesting comments there between Devon Larratt and, of course, Ermes Gasparini. And a lot of people felt like Ermes was trying to talk his way into a match. Well, it's going to be a long night of arm wrestling. Michael, I think we are going to see the next 2 rounds contested. The men coming back to the table. Kvikvinia and Ermes just emerged from backstage.
They're on the same side. They're on the same side of the table. They're redoing that match. It's still 2001. It's 3-0. He just said he missed him by half an inch. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just to talk you through what's happened there, a pin was called by Bill Collins, but it appears that they've checked that on the cameras. Contestation, they checked the cameras, and it revealed it was not a pin. We will go again. And you can see the referees just having a little discussion to make sure. But I know in the referee's briefing they did say that they would check the cameras, and the dispute by Genadi Kvikvinia.
And Genadi there contested that last pin from Ermes. After reviewing, Bill has called no pin. So we are going to continue with round 4.
I'm going to be honest, I agree with video review, and I'm happy to see this match still be going on. I don't want there to ever be a dispute whether I won or lost, and we're going to find out right now. Now, I was talking earlier about not seeing the Genadi that I'm used to seeing. That by no means does not mean that is not a world-class elite athlete. I just think, he's ran into someone who has the perfect game plan to beat him.
Yeah, and he's executed it exceptionally well today. And Ermes Gasparini, I'm sure his confidence will be through the roof right now. He's had total control on every start tonight, and I'm sure in his mind he feels like this one will be no difference. We're going to start in the straps. Ermes Gasparini. Genadi Kvikvinia. One more round in the chamber for the Georgian. He needs to hit the target.
What would you do if you're Genadi? Do you keep doing the same move that has been ineffective, or do you try to drive in with a shoulder press on go?
For me, I think he's got to change things up at this stage, Michael, because everything he's thrown at the match tonight has just not worked at all. It's time for something radical. It's time for something with massive commitment. And it's time to make sure that you do not fall underneath the hand of the Italian. And that's what he's been doing throughout the night. So it's time for a radical change, but that's a brave move. Charge of the Light Brigade time for the Georgian arm wrestler. Here we go. The thumbs are down. There go the hands. Again, Genadi not happy on that start. Probably with a little justification there. A lot of movement, a lot of climb.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Ermes is trying to get away with as much stuff as he can get away with, and that's part of the game, if you ask Devon. So
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
that's what I hear.
Go! And away we go. Massive drive, and he did commit hard that time, but Gasparini so much hand and wrist control, and surely he will take his time and finish from there. Just needs to collect himself and surely an elbow on the back of the path from Gasparini. Massive elbow goal. Yeah, masterclass. Gasparini, total and complete dominance there from the Italian. The replay from Boohoo Man, we're going to see it again in super slow-mo, I expect, but Michael, nothing we didn't know.
No. I mean, it's very impressive. I mean, just complete control. He did everything he needed to do. Now, you cannot take anything away from Genadi. He fought to the very end. He did everything he could. He tried. He just did not have a strong enough hand and wrist tonight.
Shots fired by Ermes Gasparini. And before we came back into that replay, I'm just, unfortunately, I didn't catch what Bill was saying there, but I think we're going into another round. Ermes
Looks like
Gasparini's
they're
already
doing
on his way
something.
to the bar, Mike.
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah. Hermes, it's like you when you ran off with your hammer, mate. I'm out of here.
Hey,
There's
that
the
was
win.
my
I'm
hammer.
off.
Give me my hammer.
I'm going. Ladies and gents, I think we will see another round, but to be honest,
Wow, okay.
there's no change here. For Genadi Kvikvinia, just a little bit outgunned tonight on that hand and wrist, and he's struggling for options at this stage. I think he's thrown everything he had into this match, and yeah, you can see that Gasparini comfortable, and he's able to take his foot off the gas a little bit and have some fun, and we will go to straps, Mike.
Yeah, every match tonight is going to be in the strap for these guys for sure, and I think we're going to see a lot of strap matches tonight.
You can see that there's a little bit of toll taken on the arm of Ermes Gasparini there. Doesn't look overly comfortable as that strap goes on. And yet he's looked like he's had a pretty solid night tonight. He was never really in a bad position at all.
No, he never really got compromised, but, I mean, he is full of blood in that forearm. He did just have that crazy match with Gordetcha 3 weeks ago, so he probably was a little tender coming into this, but, yeah, you suck it up, you know.
Gasparini to put icing on the cake. He's already baked so impressively tonight in Dubai. And this is a great statement made by him. There's the control, there's the comfort level. I think he's gone onto a runner. Nothing called there. Genadi thought he'd send it and stopped arm wrestling. Didn't get the call and was rolled through. I'm not sure what the call's going to be there. We will see in a moment. We're going to go again.
Here we go.
Down go the thumbs. Ermes Gasparini, a little bit of cruise control. And again, that hand and wrist dominance. He starts to amend his position now and climb, tighten. Watching that. Oh, something damaged there. He felt something and he's let that go. Concedes that round, and I think that'll be the last match we'll see from Mr. Gasparini tonight. Something went bump in the night right there for him, and he makes his way backstage. Unhappy. And everybody will be so pleased because there's going to be no action on the practice table.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Those guys are really hitting the buffet somewhere. Yeah, so I like the 6-round format, and I want to show dominance. I want to win all 6 rounds. But once you've won 4, there's always a chance of something like that happening. You know, if you can get out of a match injury-free, I always recommend doing that. But it does. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's bad, but he definitely felt something.
4-1 on the board, and I think it's a done deal in his mind. And even if they were called back to the table, I don't think he's going to even attempt to contest anything. I'm pretty sure he's just going to concede the match there. A little bit of a one-sided affair in the opener from Genadi Kvikvinia, Ermes Gasparini, and to be perfectly honest, I think that's gone against the form guide, against the betting guide. I know that, in my opinion, Genadi Kvikvinia came in as a favourite. I think he was the favourite for the match, and he was dismantled tonight. Ermes Gasparini looking rock solid. Really impressive performance, particularly on the bounce back after his recent outing against Kvikvinia.
It looks like he's actually going to pull. Yeah, he's not injured that bad.
He's certainly containing him pretty good there. There's no doubt about that. Drove across again. I think he was looking for an early night out in Dubai. Didn't want any more. Like you say, probably came in with a few knocks and bumps after the match recently and just flared it up again. There's always ibuprofen, Michael Todd.
Bottles of it.
Yeah. If God didn't want you to go to the red line, he wouldn't have invented pain drugs. You can always get a little bit of ibuprofen, get that swelling down, and go back to the practice table. I'll tell you what, if any footage emerges later this evening of Ermes Gasparini crushing people on the practice table, then we will know that he's taken a few ibuprofen and doing what he loves to do best. But what a performance for him tonight. He's looked outstanding. His hand and wrist have been a different league tonight. He's known for that. And he was very, very explosive. Again, look at that dominant position taken up, and his time there to just amend his position, amend his shape, and he's telling Kvikvinia to pull. Total control. Just whether he's got the finish to the side. Little pop there, big drive from Genadi Kvikvinia, but it's for pride at this stage, and I think an elbow foul. Restart.
Yeah, it looks like, both guys. Oh.
Ermes Gasparini. He does not look happy up there at all.
Here's the deal. You cannot be making all those faces and still arm wrestling. So either suck it up and arm wrestle or say, hey, you can have this match. But you can't be wincing in pain and still getting up there and arm wrestling every round.
Here we go. Underway again, and Gasparini, total dominance on the hand and wrist. Just needs to climb up, collect himself, get a little bit more cup, and then wait it out. Because to be perfectly honest, Genadi's got really nothing there. He's having to panic and bump sideways, but he's got no purchase unless he drives the shoulder.
If he can push his hand a little bit past his shoulder and do that again, I think he's got a shot at him.
There you go. Allowed it to go. Not really contesting it, to be fair there, Ermes. It's going to finish there. And, Ermes Gasparini, I hope he hasn't come out with anything serious. He's potentially put a foot on that ladder that Devon Larratt was talking about climbing. But he's made a statement here in Dubai tonight.
Congratulations there to Ermes Gasparini.
An impressive win here at King of the Table 2.
Absolutely, very impressive.
Devon Larratt is next. You heard it from the man himself. Next up, we have Brandon Allen and Larry Wheels.
I think we're going to get a little bit of replay of what we've just seen, the Boohoo Man replay coming up right now, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see there the story of tonight's match, and it was a simple one. It was a story of hand and wrist, and throughout the hand and wrist was owned and dominated by Ermes Gasparini. Only in that last pull did we see the Zeus-like Genadi Kvikvinia get something on the board. But to be honest, it was mostly because Ermes Gasparini retired himself at 4. A little bit of a tweak in that arm, and he wanted no part of it. Doesn't look happy at all there. A lot of discomfort for Gasparini, but hopefully when that settles down, he'll be happy with his night's work. And we got much more to come, Michael Todd. Much more to come. And this is a big match. Larry Wheels, Brandon Allen, who you got and why?
Well, I've spent a lot of time with Larry Wheels, and I've seen nothing but progress from him. But you got to like Brandon Allen and his attitude. He's confident. He's coming to this thing. He's got an epic beard, so you can't count the man out. I'm going to go with Larry Wheels, but they both have 2 different lanes to potentially win, and they're conflicting styles, so I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
Both these men coming from a general strength background, both accomplished powerlifters, both phenomenally strong human beings. They've crossed over into arm wrestling, and tonight we will see who's taken the bigger steps in the sport of iron arms. Now, Larry Wheels, impressive recently. We've seen him in training with Chance Shaw, top-class arm wrestler from the United States, and he looked extremely impressive there, Michael.
No doubt.
Next, to enter the strong pit, from the United States of America, weighing in at 142 kilograms, 315 pounds, overweighing his opponent by 16 kilograms, Brandon Allen. To my right, we have the man taking the sport of arm wrestling to new heights, a hybrid athlete and one of the strongest men on the planet, weighing 126 kilograms, 277 pounds, Larry Wheels.
Ain't no sunshine when it's on, only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when it's on, 'cause when it's on, your niggas know the beat gone every time, 'cause we don't play. Won't turn out the lights, now you don't wanna fight.
Here we go, Michael Todd. Brandon Allen, Larry Wheels.
Obviously, you see Larry setting up for that power hook. I think he might even have his foot up on the table leg there. Brandon looks like he's going to go for an outside move. I mean, that's both of their lanes. This first ready go is going to tell us a lot.
2 very contrasting styles. We know that King's move is an option for Brandon Allen. Larry Wheels, we've seen impressive if he can make the match close and tight. He has done, but straight away, Allen hits the Kings. And some evidence of problems early on. And I know a man who knows a little bit about that. Michael Todd.
Yeah, so what I saw was he hit offensively really good, got his wrist to go just a little bit, and then Larry sucked him in, got that cup, and he pronated out, dropped his hand, got the slip, and it looks like if he can be that offensive on go, I was looking at that setup, and I really thought Larry was just going to turn him in real fast on go. Brandon had a very fast hit. If he can get that same hit again inside the strap and stop Larry from pinning him, even in that open top row Kings move, it could definitely put some fatigue on Larry's wrist, and Larry would probably have to have a transitional press to pin him. But I'm still going with Larry. Still looking at Larry.
Yeah, Larry Wheels looks extremely strong, but he said before the match that he was concerned about his endurance. I must admit that was a concern I had for him, just because of the inexperience at the table, but it'd be great if he can get some confidence and get some points on the board early. We're going into the strap, two really contrasting looks about these arm wrestlers, never mind stylistically. We got Larry Wheels there, he's pristine, he's polished, he's clean, and we got filthy power Brandon Allen, who looks like he's never seen a barber shop in his life. Here we go.
Both big men, though.
Big drive, Wheels tightening up, staying with his arm, which is good to see. But it is Brandon Allen moving to the back of the pad, needs to watch that elbow. He's playing with fire a little there, and I'm not sure what call we've got.
They got a pin, but I think it needed another half inch to go, but it looks like 1-0 for Larry.
Okay, that's the pin, Larry Wheels. Potentially, that could have actually been a little elbow infringement for Brandon Allen off the back of the pad as well, and they called it in a losing position, quite possibly. Let's have a look at the replay there, see if we can see anything, because he was very close to the back of the pad, and I think Bill's explaining that now.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like he's in that position. He's still above the table. His humerus is not downward, unless his elbow's off the back of the pad. If his
I
elbow's
think
off the
it
back,
was, mate.
Yeah.
I think it looked to me like there was a little infringement.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a shoulder below the table infringement. Everything there was within the rules, but it looked like his elbow might have came off the back.
Got the makings of a solid match here, though, because what you could see there, the strength gap is not too big at all. And this could become a lot more exciting as things go on. Nice to see Larry Wheels get his first pin in Supermatch arm wrestling.
Yeah. Absolutely. And he stayed patient. He looked good. He was making the right moves. So his training is definitely paying off.
Without question, looking far more joined up. And we know Larry is an absolute athlete. He's shown so much prowess in so many fields. Arm wrestling, he's set his sights on. He's pursuing it with vigor, with aggression, with passion. And he gets something on the board early. Needs to calm down. Hopefully that settles his nerves and allows him to think his way through the matches. So difficult to do that when you're under this kind of pressure.
Well, absolutely. It's a big stage. It's his promotion. It's he's coming off that loss to Schoolboy, but he looks good. He looks strong. But like you said, he just needs to keep those nerves in check and do what he's been training to do.
The buckle tightened down. Determined look on the face of Larry Wheels. Brandon Allen, pretty much given his signature. He knows exactly what he's going to do here. Try to hit that open top roll. Transition to the Kings. Larry Wheels going to make it tight, going to make it close. Try and close that wrist, cut hard, and move to the side. But you can see the fatigue already evident there. And as he starts to drive, I think there's a little infringement on that. Yeah, a running foul for filthy Brandon Allen.
Yeah, they're not calling that King's move correctly. It's not. That's not the way the rule. It goes in King of the table. He's not below the table. He's still. I don't know. I know what they're calling, but this is not looking good for Larry right now.
No, and that's better. He closed his wrist a little bit there. He's certainly got an arm strength, and there's the pin. Larry Wheels, well done. Stuck with his arm, managed to regain the cup, and when he did so, the difference in strength was significant there. You could see Brandon Allen still hanging out.
He did regain the cup, but actually Brandon came in, thought it was time to do the transition, and there was not enough fatigue on Larry's arm yet. Now, if he does that one more time, he cracks that wrist like that, and stays with it, it could could pay its dividends on Larry's wrist for sure. But that's very impressive for Larry. He stayed patient. He did what he needed to do. He got back in that hook, and he went straight for the pad and as soon as he got that position. So very impressive performance so far.
Without question, Larry Wheels clearly progressed leaps and bounds in the sport in this last 5 or 6 months, and every credit to the guy. You can see at the moment Brandon Allen getting a lot of work done on that arm, but like you say, there is an opportunity here for him to turn this around, and Adam Silver in the corner of Larry Wheels there will be delighted. 2 pins to 0 for Wheels, looking good for team personal record at this stage. And a big smile on the face of Larry Wheels. Brandon Allen is up there. He's ready to go one more time.
Yeah, he knows he's questioning Larry's endurance. He knew he put some pressure into that hand and wrist that last match. He wants him to get back up there, see if he can't do it again. He's got a good game plan. It's just right now he's run into a stronger arm wrestler so far.
Brandon Allen on the far side of the table from the United States of America. As we said earlier, a guy who's transitioned, an impressive powerlifter. Larry Wheels, cut from a similar cloth, and he's been investing a great deal of time. He's invested in getting some of the very best arm wrestlers in the world to go out to Dubai and to pour that knowledge into him, to improve his technical prowess, his understanding of the sport. He's really embraced the game of iron arms, and he's thrown himself in there, and the dividends are paying out tonight. You can see he looks far more calm than he has done before. He was definitely experiencing some issues in that last match, but he didn't panic. He stayed with his arm. He showed that additional experience. Needs one more now.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him. He's been very disciplined. He's learned. He's had the opportunity to pull and train with the best arm wrestlers in the world, and he's learned a lot. So he's being patient.
Big drive from Allen, trying to open him up again, but at this point, unable to do so, Mike. Patience.
I mean, things are looking good on both sides right now. He just cannot afford to get turned in that hook. Larry's looking good, looking patient. He's liking the hook.
Little transition attempt there, but again, too early from Brandon. He's trying to put that fatigue in Larry, and he's done so, and there's one back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in an arm wrestling match. You called that, what have we got?
Elbow foul or shoulder foul. I don't know what they're calling. But it's definitely a foul on Brandon. But he just showed there's the lane, right? He looked good. He countered. He went in to come into the transition. Larry surged. He countered. He went back to the Kings. He came back in. He got the press. I just don't know where the foul, happened. But he definitely. I mean, that's just round 2. We got 4 more rounds, so this could go either way. And I think that just gave Brandon a lot of confidence.
It will indeed, mate. And I think, to be honest, Larry will possibly try to rush a little bit now, try to finish earlier, because he will be feeling the effects of that fatigue. It's alien territory for him, really, as it is for most people, when they experience that open top roll. Really puts massive fatigue into you, and that is a concern. And Brandon needs to be patient himself. There's the transition, and this time he makes it stick. And Brandon Allen's confidence has just gone through the roof, and I can tell you there's a lot of Brandon Allen fans who'll be dancing around the living rooms right about now.
He just told everyone in the building that it's over. It's just Larry needs to be Larry cannot be offensive like he wants to, because he's getting that pronator. I mean, he's getting pronated hard on that setup. As soon as they say go, he's dropping in the open top row. As Larry goes to pin, he's getting compromised, and then you have a big bicep that cannot handle an entire body laying on it, and that's what's happening.
You can see there that
it's beautiful.
Larry didn't get comfortable, committed too early. There was a massive amount of fatigue in the hand and wrist, and Allen transitioned, exposed him badly, and there was no fallback, no plan B. Just that limited experience from Larry at this stage. He doesn't have another option.
No, it's beautiful work by Brandon as well. And if you watch some of the interviews, he predicted a 6-0 victory for himself or a 4-2 victory. He thought that Larry might could get him early, but once he put that fatigue into him, he had this game plan. So can Larry make an adjustment? We know Larry said he has a top row. Let's see if he's going to try to use it.
Brandon Allen waits at the table, trying to initiate the match that little bit early. I know someone else who's done that in one of his matches as well. Get up there and try to make the man come back to the table. Reminiscent of Monster Michael Todd, Devon Larratt, WEL.
Yeah, I knew I had a game plan. I told you that whole game plan prior to happening, and it played out perfectly that night. I had a good night that night, but I knew someone as alpha male as Devon Larratt would not allow someone else to be at the table and him still sitting on a stool. So I knew once I got back to the table, he was going to come back up there.
Snapshot prediction at this stage of the match, Michael Todd. It's 2-1. Brendan Allen just come back into the match. Do you think he continues and takes it from here, or is Larry going to be able to make those adjustments?
We're going to find out everything right now. Either Larry's going to make the right adjustment, or Brandon's going to win the next 3 rounds. If Larry can make the right adjustment, he can come out on top of this thing. But if he keeps doing the same thing, I think Brandon's got his number right now. He knows there's enough fatigue in that arm, there's enough fatigue in that hand and wrist. All he's got to do is be patient and then time that transition. And I hate that for Larry because I know how important this is to him. But at the same time, Brandon has been training hard. He's worked hard for this match. So you got to give respect to both of these guys. They both love arm wrestling. They made the transition from powerlifting and strength athletics over to this sport. And got to give them both all kinds of credit.
Absolutely. Larry Wheels, look at the physique on that individual. The man looks like he's been carved out of Zeus's tooth. Absolutely
he is a freak.
Incredible. What a specimen. Unbelievable.
No.
Brandon Allen, somewhere below that beard is a man called Brandon, and he's in this match. Look at that, look.
Thumbs down.
6
He's
colonies
one
of
thick individual.
Small birds nesting. I mean, he makes your beard look a bit poor, mate. I'm going to say, here we go. Down come the hands under. Whoa, look at that! It's a direct press, straight to the press for Brandon Allen. And that was not anticipated by Larry Wheels. It's caught him napping, and Brandon Allen dramatically ties the score. Where did that come from, Michael Todd?
Well, sometimes you just know. Sometimes you can feel the energy draining from your opponent. When you're in those long matches and you can tell that it's not where they want to be, you can feel that it's taking more out of them than it is you. And sometimes that you just have that option, that straight shoulder press to the pad. I've been there, I've done it. And I got to give the man credit. He has done very, very well tonight. He had a game stuck to it. And it's working out real well. You hate being down 2 matches, but if that's what it takes to level the playing field, it's worth doing just so that you can come out on top.
Brandon Allen will be really feeling like he's back with a vengeance in this match now, because I saw the referees having a little chat after that. I thought for a moment we were going to see some kind of infringement. It doesn't look like that is the case unless they're checking the cameras now. But that was a really impressive transition. Popped that out of nowhere, Brandon. He's been hanging back, utilising that open top roll, utilising the Kings. Not that time. Straight to the press. Drop the wrist, fire him with the shoulder, and a big celebration there as he walks back to the table early again for filthy power, Brandon Allen. And some advice from Sonny Banalescu,
who's a bad man himself. But the biggest thing right now for Larry is don't let this get in your head. If you lose your confidence, if you lose your swagger now, it's going to be all you wrote. You got to get in there and bang. You got to give it everything you got. You got to be aggressive on go. As soon as you hear ready, you need to be hitting that man.
And this is an exciting matchup for both these lads. It's really finely balanced right now. And I'll tell you what, Brandon Allen, well, they're getting a lot of fans out of this. I've really warmed to him over this week. I think Brandon's been great. I'm a big Brandon Allen fan now. I'm a big Larry Wheels fan. Larry really impressed me here. Win, lose, or draw. He's definitely impressed. He's making those strides in the sport, but he will want to get a result here. A lot of arm wrestling will want him to get a result here, Mike.
Well, he needs it. You know, he needs it right now. He needs to show that he has more than just that one ace. This is where he's got to show his heart. This is where he's got to show that I'm willing to do anything it takes to win. And we're about to find out where Larry's at right now. And either way, win or lose tonight, I have a lot of confidence that Larry's going to continue to do great things in the sport. But like you said, Brandon Allen has a great personality. He's a great guy. and we're having a lot of fun tonight. We're definitely winning by getting to see this match.
Larry Wheels. Brandon Allen, here we go. We're into the strap. Bill Collins will close the thumbs. He'll then move on to those hands and we'll be underway again. Will we expect to see something different again from Allen? He hangs back again and Larry Wheels a lot better this time, and we'll see that commitment now. Starts to move to the side, but a measured approach, and he needs to remain calm. He's being exposed on the hand and wrist again, though, and it's Brandon Allen who capitalises. Dives in, Mike, and the shoulder press finish again. Wow.
Well, you saw it as soon as, so it looked like Brandon was going to try that bent wrist press on go. It wasn't there for him. He went back in the open top rope, but he saw him shaking his head. He knew it wasn't the same arm he felt rounds 1 and 2, and he was just being patient, ready to make that transition. He's going to push sideways, transition that shoulder behind it. There's that pec deck and straight to the pad.
What was really evident there, Mike, as we watched the replay, as you were talking through it, perfect job there, because you could sort of see Brandon Allen going through the gears. He was waiting and he was timing that transition. Contrasting from Larry, there wasn't another option for him, and you did feel for him at that time. He'd done the work, he'd stopped the match, but he didn't really know where to go, and just that little lack of experience that's still evident for him. But I hope this doesn't worry his confidence, because he's made a great deal of strides forward. Just needs to work on those transitions and give himself more options there.
Absolutely. He's still very new to the sport, but this is what I've always said. What determines a great arm wrestler is how do you win once the match stops. You can be a guy who flashes people and you can have one silver bullet and it could be awesome, but you got to be able to win once the match stops. And it shows that Brandon Allen has spent a lot of time on the table, a lot of time doing exactly that, getting into long matches and just finding a way to win. So very impressed by both guys.
Filthy power, Brandon Allen, a man who will leave Dubai with a lot of additional fans. He's performed great here. He leads this arm wrestling match. Larry Wheels, what have you got left? How much do you want this, Larry Wheels? He looks a little dejected right now. Needs to try and pet those spirits up, Larry. A man who's competed all his life and he's put so much effort and energy into this sport. I'm willing him to get a foothold back in this match and draw it level.
You want it for him so bad because he's put so much work into the sport and he's done great things. The sport of arm wrestling owes this guy a debt of gratitude for the exposure we're getting, and you want to see him, shine. You want to see him do well. But like I said, if it's not tonight, that you're going to see great things from this young man. He's very young, he's talented, and he is passionate about arm wrestling.
Here we go. We're back into the strap. Last Chance Saloon. Larry Wheels, what is going through the mind of the man from Personal Record right now? Needs to try and collect himself. Think about
you see Brandon setting up for that shoulder.
Lessons. Yes, sir. Carving around. Shaping his body. Look for that off the start. You can see
and it's going to be a bit wrist press too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's giving his wrist up. He's going.
There it goes. Big drive. It's the finish. It's done. It's in the history books. Michael Todd called it perfectly. Set himself up and executed.
And our winner, Brandon Allen.
Man, I mean, you got to give both these guys great credit. They've done amazing things, but Brandon Allen just showed out.
He lived up to that confidence in the press conference. I mean, well done.
Thank you, man. I know I dug a big hole and I had to climb out of it.
You did. You certainly climbed out of it. Big round of applause for Brandon Allen. Now,
it is in the books, and you got to feel for Larry. We're going to probably hear from Larry Wheels now.
Sport to new heights. How do you feel, Larry?
Worn out. Hands off to Brandon. He had the same amount of time in the sport, roughly as I, maybe even less. But he backed up his banter. So, I'm happy for him. Of course, at the end of the day, my objective is to grow arm wrestling as a whole. I'm just here for the fun of it. Disappointed, no doubt. But I knew my adherence would be a problem, and I was right. Don't worry, guys. I'm not quitting after this. I've taken many ass whoopings. Unfortunately, this is not the last one. Hopefully, for a while at least. But anyways, thank you all for tuning until now. And I just want to see Devon and John Paul. Let's get to that.
Yeah, up next we have John Brzenk and Devon Larratt. A last round of applause for Larry Wheels. Again, a loss there, but nonetheless, a man of great achievements to come, specifically within the promotion game of arm wrestling. We're going to go now to the guys in commentary, and then we're going to bring out John Brzenk and Devon Larratt.
Monster Michael Todd. 2 matches are in the history books at King of the Table 2, but 1 more match remains. And I can imagine that the hairs on your chinny chin are standing alert, because next up, it's John Brzenk, a perfect storm, the greatest arm wrestler of all time. And he will face Devon, No Limits, Larratt. That comes next.
Absolutely, it's what we've all been waiting for.
Ladies and gents, we will be back in just a moment, but first, we'll take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
boohooman.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubai. Welcome to King of the Table 2, and this is the main event of the evening. The GOAT, John Brzenk, the perfect storm, will face No Limits Devon Larratt in a match for the ages. This could be incredible. So much excitement. Michael, it's on, mate.
Man, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what all the hype's been about. We get to find out if a 57-year-old John Brzenk can show Devon Larratt where his limit's at.
Brzenk, his arm wrestling game has been on the shelf for a little while. But around 6 months ago, the perfect storm picked it off that shelf, blew the dust away, and he's been making strides, gathering momentum. And tonight in Dubai, many people around the world will be hoping that the eye of the storm is about to blow through the Soldier Boy Superman from the frozen north, Devon Larratt. He's been on a rich vein of form. You had up close and personal experience of that last time out in Dubai, Michael. How have you got this, and how do you see it?
Well, you have to say Devon Larratt is the favorite, but John Brzenk, you can never count that man out. This is going to be one heck of a match. I've got a lot of respect for both these guys, and I think they're going to leave it all on the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one you have all been waiting for. King of the Table 2, Brzenk versus Larratt. Here we go.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The Battle of the Goats. A 6-round right arm super match. The fight for legacy, John Brzenk versus Devon Larratt. in the battle for legacy.
It's time for legacy.
I'm back.
And now, heading to the table, a man classed as the greatest of all time in the sport, earned through his many major title wins. He last competed at WAL, where he beat Devon, his opponent tonight. All the way from McHenry, Illinois, United States, standing at 6'1", the lightest athlete in the pit tonight, weighing 114 kilograms, 215 pounds. John the Perfect Storm Brzenk! And now, his opponent, well known for his infamous can opener, an ex-Canadian Special Forces soldier, considered to be the best arm wrestler of all time, standing at 6'5", weighing 129 kilograms, 284 pounds, the reigning champ of King of the Table, Devon No Limits Larratt.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. The perfect storm. John Brzenk of Mesa, Arizona. And he will face the man from Ottawa, Canada. So much intensity, so much torque, Michael. And it's an aggressive, determined-looking John Brzenk who's looking to make a mark. You can feel the intensity coming off the table, monster.
Yeah, this first match is going to tell everything. We're going to find out where John Brzenk is at as soon as they say ready, go.
Please don't have my thumb up.
As you can see straight away.
I need this.
No, you don't.
That's even right there. Look, that's even.
Okay, I'm like,
Bring his elbow back.
keep it there.
Don't lift your elbow.
John Brzenk wasn't happy with the webbing.
It was definitely in Devon's favor. He was way high there. Almost feels like they need to scoot his elbow back a little bit. I don't know if they will do that.
Just the thumbs.
But John is used to giving up a lot in the setup just so that he can get the match started. He doesn't want to get involved up in the setup right now, and that's Devon's forte. He wants to blow up his opponent. He wants to make him fight.
When I set your elbows, don't move. Okay, Devon, come back a little bit.
I'm not going to just put the strap on when it's
Wherever he gets on the pad, I want the same position.
Your arm's lower than I
I'll
need
just
it
lower my
level
webbing. I'll
and
lower
there.
it. I'll lower it. I just
Okay.
don't want to be crowded.
I get you.
Yeah.
Lower it
I
to the
understand.
webbing
I will.
straight.
I will.
Okay.
Even before the start, Bill Collins just setting the tone there. John Brzenk making his feelings known, and
Don't move it from
Did
here.
so
General.
before the
I'm just
start
trying
of
to
the
get
match.
strap.
Collins, super experienced referee, going to be taking control of it, and a stoic-looking John Brzenk, who set the tone early, Michael. He started to try and bully Devon as they came to the
Thumbs
table.
down, just hold the strap. Don't grab. Don't grab.
Absolutely. He's using a little bit of Devon's tactics against him. John did not want to go straight to the strap, but those are the rules of King of the Table too, so he's trained specifically for that.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs
Both
down.
of the hands look relatively even right there.
Trying to get,
I
I'm
don't
just
know
trying to
what
get the
just
strap
happened.
on
The
right
strap
now.
gets completely applied
We're
all the way
not even
tight.
getting there yet.
Will Devon rise through the strap, or will John be able to contain him? We're going to find out a lot right here on this first start.
Curl in. I'm just trying to get the strap on,
Pivotal
gentlemen.
moments in
Open
this
your
arm
hands.
wrestling match, ladies and gentlemen.
Elbows down.
Referee Bill Collins trying to take
Don't touch
control.
me. Don't
Hey.
fucking touch my
Bring
hand.
his hand
Listen to
down.
the.
Don't you
already
can't touch
underway.
my hand like that.
Let me take care of this. Don't move.
Now, was John doing that just to get into Devon's head? What do you think?
It's interesting. John has certainly set the tone on how he's prepared to fight this time. We're going to listen in every chance we get to what the arm wrestlers are saying at the table there. The strap's being applied, and you
Elbows down.
can
Elbows
feel
down. I
that
got it.
passion
Don't worry.
boiling over.
I'm just trying.
You are lifting your elbow all the time.
Okay, look, I'm gonna give both of you guys a foul if you don't listen to me. All right, elbows down and do not move. I understand, John. Let me get the strap on and I'll adjust. Okay?
Well, you can't adjust once the strap is
Yes, I
put
can.
down.
Let me get a
Now,
little
that is
closer so
not
you
good for
guys
John.
can
He's
wiggle it
getting the strap applied where he's much lower in the webbing. Bill says he'll fix it once the strap is applied, but
Elbows
that
down,
will already get the
elbows
advantage. Okay,
down.
that's
Well,
better.
that's 'cause
They
your
haven't
arm
tightened it.
is-
That's much
arm is
better.
2 inches taller than mine. Yeah, keep.
See, look, now, okay, now
Touching
Devon's
my
tightening the strap
hand,
himself.
his elbows up
I
all
don't
the
care
time.
about touching
He
the
will
strap.
talk to the
I just
ref.
want my
Both of you
hands
guys,
on the
Tighten
do both
up,
of you guys want to start with the foul?
readjusting.
Listen, I
He
just
is
want to start the match.
perfected
I
that.
want him to keep his elbow down.
Yeah, let me take care of this. I'm just trying to get the strap on,
John
gentlemen.
Brzenk.
We ain't even got into the match yet. Elbows down,
Trying
John.
to keep his head and his focus
Elbows down. Elbows
on the
down.
task in hand, and it is in hand. The hand and wrist
Okay, see that
are
top thumb
critical.
knuckle? Do not
That hand and
cover
wrist
over
are the
it.
key to victory for John. He knows that,
Open
and he
your
knows he
hands up.
needs to take
Let me
up
get
the
you guys closer.
dominant
Elbow.
position early. You can see that massively, powerfully built hand of John Brzenk.
Elbow.
With his arm that much
Stop
taller,
complaining and breaking the rules.
you have to bring his elbow back, Bill.
He's
you
the
have to
one
bring his
lifting
elbow
his
back.
freaking elbow.
I am lifting my elbow because your arm is in the forward of the cup and it's 2 inches taller than mine.
I'll back him up.
Okay, back him up, please.
Okay. Look at
My webbing is not higher than his.
Bullshit.
elbow. Get your
It
elbow
is
down.
not higher.
Bullshit.
Get
Why
your
do I have to bring my elbow back when our webbing is even?
elbow ain't
Because
even.
you're
He's up.
6'6".
Yeah, he's
Elbow
up, so
back.
tell him to bring his elbow down.
One foul.
It's nice
For
to see
what?
that John is
Bring
just
your
not
elbow
letting
back.
You're
him
not
have
listening to
anything.
me.
Yeah, why should
Bring
I
But
listen?
I
your
think this is
elbow
affecting
back.
a little
Devon
bit.
more than it is John. I think
Back up
John's
a little bit.
really getting into
Get
Devon's
his
head. I may be
elbow
wrong.
down. I'm coming back. Get his elbow down.
Are you guys serious?
I'm
You
dead
guys want a
serious.
match going on?
Yeah, get
Okay,
his
listen
elbow
to
down.
my
I don't
command.
think John's-
John, elbow down.
Go ahead.
Don't worry, I will get this level. You're not.
Keep
You're
control
not.
of
I'm not
very,
even there
very
yet. I can't even
difficult
talk.
set
Elbow
of
down.
circumstances. And this first round, more nervous
down.
energy, more nervous tension
down.
than at
How
any
can you
point
give
during
me
the
a foul?
match.
when he keeps doing it.
Just listen to
Not
him.
So I don't think John's going to try to.
Thumbs down.
I don't think John's going to try to cup him. I think
Not
he's gonna
cover
launch
over
his
that
hand
top
up and try
thumb
to
knuckle.
peel back
Shoulders
to
in.
Devin's
Both
finger.
you
No,
guys.
this is such
Almost
bullshit.
like Travis Bajan would pull. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he believes
ahead.
he can
I
cup
want a fair
Devin.
match.
I think
Go
he's
ahead.
going to try
Let
to
it go.
pronate through his hand and get Devin's
Go
wrist
ahead. Let it go.
compromised.
What's you not seeing right here?
I'm here. He's
To
here.
feel
No.
uncomfortable again there, John, and breaks position one more
You
time.
guys need to be straight.
I think we're about to get a start. I think it's about to get going.
No moving.
Thumbs are going down. Watch for Bill Collins now
Close
being
hands.
closed down the hand.
Go!
They're nearly ready to go. Tries to power down to the pad. Devon Larratt equal to it, and he's got the brakes on. But this is a great start. Sweeps to the side, trying to collect, but now Devon Larratt starts to climb
He
and
does not-
apply that pressure up into the hand of John Brzenk, and John is tight. He's trying to contain, and he gives it up.
So bad.
That was a smart move. That was a smart move. But Devin did go full-blown King's move on him. And Devin said he wouldn't have to, and he sure did round one.
But who does the confidence barometer top out on right now? Because John Brzenk sold a lot there, and you can hear the heavy breathing coming from John. He's rubbing his arm, he's rubbing his hand, and he's blowing. Gone backstage for a moment. He pushed very hard to the side as we go to the replay, and Devon, once he started to contain it, didn't attack, and it was John that pinned himself. He literally sacrificed it,
I can't see it.
and I hope nothing
Thing
is damaged in the arm of John Brzenk.
I got as much
See
right.
what we can
Nothing's
hear.
damaged. He told me he was going to do that. If he couldn't pin him in the first round, he was just going to try different angles and then let his arm get pinned.
John, a little bit of dry mouth. Just gone back to get a little bit of ice. Interesting start. 1-0. Larratt. And an opportunity wasted there to some extent for John Brzenk. And he has to go back to the drawing board. But remember, the perfect storm has been down before. This is far from over. Devon Larratt trying to get his breathing under control now, Mike, and get his head back on the game. He knows he needs to be mentally alert.
I want the
A
webbing
different angle could come.
level.
Well, here's the deal. Devon's going to do the exact same thing again for at least 2 more rounds before he puts any fatigue into John before he can showboat on him. Right now, John Brzenk had the control of the center of the table. I'm telling you, Devon's King's move has gotten much tighter. We pulled it at the Olympia a couple months back, 4 or 5 times. He was able to stop me that. Once I stepped off, came back, I was able to get some pretty good pins on him. But his King's move is very, very tight now.
Nominated Strappen again.
Let's go, gentlemen.
Devon
Come
just
on.
putting those little mind games into the match, just firing a couple of bullets into the hand and wrist of John Brzenk.
All I'm
Nothing
doing is
really
getting
to
this
that.
straight.
He's just trying to unsettle him and keep him off balance, keep his head out of the game, wind him up. These guys have been doing it for weeks. It's been a
Thumbs down
mental
only.
chess match.
Thumbs
Now, if you're
down
John
only.
Brzenk
All
here,
we're doing
Mike,
is
do you
thumbs,
look to
guys.
go deeper with the
all
lower
they're
palm
doing.
and shoot
Thumbs
the
down,
hook?
don't
Do you
move.
try to hook him at this point?
Absolutely not. John's going to do the same thing, in my opinion. And I think because what it was is he was testing that lane. I think John still has more pressure he can apply. He might be able to pin his King's move. But if he can't do it in the first 15 seconds, you're going to see the same thing again.
Open up.
But I do not believe
No
he's going to
moving
go
around.
try
Elbows
to
down,
turn him
stay
into a
open.
hook anything at this point. That could be a round 3 option or something, but I honestly think he was testing out that lane, and he feels like, okay, Devon said he would not do a King's move round 1. I just put him in the King's move. Now let's go and see if I can't go ahead and pin this guy. That's what I feel. That's what I'm feeling. I'm not saying it's going to work.
One second, guys. Elbows down.
And John's setting up a
Elbows
little
down,
bit
1 second.
more on the defensive, the B side with that arm, pushing the lower palm forward, going to try a little bit of a different angle.
my elbow down.
But already he's unhappy with the grip. A lot of issues before the start. We've seen this so many times before.
Well, Devon definitely has a height in the setup. His webbing's way higher. But I do think John's going to bunch that hand up and try to go just like he did a minute ago and try to get that
Thumbs
hand
down, gentlemen.
exposed. Put Devon that King's
Get your
move.
elbow in
You
there.
see Devon looking, he's got his shoulder committed forward, but I do not think he's going
No
there.
moving.
I agree entirely. John standing his hand
moving.
up, looking for the height, looking to try and expose the
Close
hand and
hands.
wrist. The arms are down.
Yeah, Tommy!
Yeah! And Devon Larratt declares to the room that it is over. He's laughing. And
It's
John
nothing.
Brzenk starts to drive to the
Why
side.
don't you just quit again?
Devon starts to talk to the storm. He is standing in the eye of the storm, and he laughs to the ceiling.
Dry. Gas. Out.
He had a beautiful setup right there. That was perfect. His hand was high. Yeah, that was phenomenal.
John conceding it again, but you do wonder how much of that is just John Brzenk has got so much fatigue. He had to go to the red line on that first match, and in his preparation coming in here, he's never had to go so hard. He's never pulled anybody at this level yet, and it's a very different experience. And you wonder how much he's got left in that hand and wrist and how many options he's got, because there really was nothing for him there. We know he's not able to shoot forward, and he's not going to win this match on height. It could be a very bad day for John, and I hope he can find a foothold here and doesn't get run over.
Yeah, that was very impressive by Devon. He had the perfect setup. I knew he was high in the setup. I felt like John was going to be able to bring him to him some. But as soon as Devon got that little bit of cup in his wrist, it was all over.
Devon Larratt saying that he wanted to make a statement. He felt like John tried to take something away from his 2008 victory, and he wanted to make a statement and show John that that was the legitimate outcome that day. Now, will we see Devon try to allow John into the match a little bit more?
I don't think we're going to see that just yet. I think he wants to keep doing what he just did. But it's possible. You never know. Devon's crazy. Devon has all the tools. He's a giant. He's 6'6". He's got levers of like a 6'8", 6'9" guy, and he's as technical, complete of arm wrestler that's ever lived.
John just
and now he's got a lot of power.
Away. He really does. There's no doubt about it. Devon looks extremely powerful. John, massive amount of support for John Brzenk. Supremely endearing character. If this guy isn't your favourite arm wrestler, it's hard to understand why not. John Brzenk has done so much for the sport of arm wrestling. He is the very, very best to ever do it. And a lot of people will be hoping that somehow, some way, the perfect storm can make that romantic fairy story a reality. Can he find a way back into this arm wrestling match? I've got to be honest, it's hard to envisage that happening right now, Mike.
Yeah, it's not looking good. That's the first match. I was very optimistic for John. The second match was so dominant, it makes you wonder: was Devon just playing around the first round, or did John really fatigue that much after that full blown just going all out?
I think the red line factor has a lot to do with it, and fatigue happens at different levels, and when you go to that red line, it's very, very hard to recover, and I think John had to really drive extremely hard there, and we're seeing a lot of fatigue in there. I also think he mistimed that second hit a little. Got his direction
it definitely looked
slightly
like it.
wrong. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, close your thumbs. I don't want no one moving. I'm going to let go here. Close your hands. Go!
Oh, my word, lit up there. And Devon Larratt, wow, that was an aggressive driving start. I think we're going to go to the referees, though, and see exactly what happened there. I'm not sure whether... Yes, it's given. That was a massive hit from no limits. Devon Larratt, aggressive. Look at that on the replay. Lit John Brzenk up like Christmas. Wow.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, perfect cup, side pressure, right to left on the elbow pad. It looked amazing.
It's horrible to see, actually. I'm going to be honest. I hate seeing. Sometimes it's.
Well, we're all John Brzenk.
Oh,
we're all John Brzenk fans. Yeah, and I love the fact that he's back in the sport. It's great to have him, but I've said it many times. The sport has evolved in the last decade. And then you still got to figure there's guys out there like Levon and Vitali. The super heavyweight division is just different now. Not to mention Austrian, that dude's amazing.
John gone over to the ice there. He's just applying that ice to his wrist and hand. I really hope there's no damage in the arm of John. Damage to that arm or shoulder. That was a massively aggressive hit. And it was obviously timed a little wrong again from John. And that's the issue, really, when you got a level of fatigue in the hand and wrist. You've not managed to mentally settle in the match. That any ring rust that is there becomes evident real quick. And John Brzenk doing what he always does, showing up, giving it everything he possibly has.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's any ring rust whatsoever with John. I just think he's ran into this new version of Devon Larratt, and it's a strong version.
Nobody knows how strong. Like yourself, Mike, nobody knows better. You faced this guy very short period of time ago, and he looked extremely strong there. He does again tonight. No limits, Devon Larratt, the man from Ottawa, Canada. Big Island, Ontario. And he is dominating at this point in time. King of the Table 2, Dubai. Referee Bill Collins. I'm Neil Pickup. I'm here with Monster Michael Todd. A man who's held the world title in pretty much every professional promotion in the world. And I'm sure that Mike Todd is sat on the other side of this microphone thinking, let me at these guys again.
100% want redemption for May. King of the Table 1 will never happen again.
Here we go. Straps being applied. John Brzenk, greatest arm wrestler of all time, was looking for that fairy story ending. It's not looking likely right now. Hard to see a way back into this match with such a dominant version.
Thumbs down.
No limits, Devon Larratt.
See, Devon's not even fighting the setup anymore. He's that confident.
Listen, Chris.
Close it. Coming, is flop coming? Over the thumb. Do you see my knuckle? Do you see my knuckle? Do you see my thumb knuckle?
To the ref.
You see my thumb knuckle? Oh, for fuck's sake. It's just you can't cover my thumb knuckle. He's helping you.
I haven't even closed my hand.
He's helping.
How am I?
No, you're way over.
Listen, gentlemen, we're the same crap. You're not supposed to be moving on me, okay? When I say close the thumbs, hold it down there.
Devon being Devon.
Yes, he is. And
it's just you're pulling me.
He's really trying to make a mental statement here.
The center is there. That's where the center is.
My arm is pivoted like that. Yours is like this.
It's not the center. It's not.
Thumbs down.
A lot of emotion there for Devon as well.
No moving.
I think he really did want this victory to be done in a certain way. John applying that back pressure. I think we got a little bit of a coil from Devon.
There's Devon grabbing the strap.
Watch the replay, we'll see that he initiates.
Right.
I'm watching it. Go here.
Brzenk was just balling up, ready to apply that back pressure there. Devon trying to match it, but in doing so, just a little coil on the wrist, and it's called free, rightly so.
Thank you. Thumbs down, John.
Down go the thumbs. Watch now, Collins will wrap the hands. Be ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Go!
On the way we go, and that's containment from No Limits Devon Larratt. John Brzenk is trying to edge backwards, but he's being talked to. And absolutely clinically in the centre as he goes on the offensive. John trying to edge back, squeezing, keeping tight, keeping collected, trying to maintain the hand and wrist position, but this is containment from Larratt. He's in no danger there, and he can see the energy and fatigue levels are building now. That energy draining away from John. John shoots in, but he's in a bad position there, and he's chasing the hook, trying to edge himself back in, but Larratt is in a commanding position there. The shoulders applied, and Brzenk thinks better of it. Larratt, crisp and clean. Wow.
Very impressive. Very impressive. But I mean, like you said, Devon was definitely the favorite coming in, but being a John Brzenk fan, you wanted to see him do the impossible. But Devon showed why he's in top form right now.
Seeing the replay there, just seeing the moments after John Brzenk tried to find a route through and come back onto the inside of the match, trying to get that corner. When he did that, he'd already committed so much.
The winner, Devon Larratt.
I'll tell you what, a little bit off camera there, the perfect storm.
A few words from you both, John, Devon.
Devon Larratt, and
how do you feel, Devon?
Shows you the caliber of man he is, and let's listen to Devon.
There's nothing anybody could do to do more for the sport than John Brzenk has. You know, In other sports, there's Jordan, there's Tyson. John Brzenk has 40 years at the top of the sport. I came into the sport, I watched everything that John has ever done. I read everything he's ever posted. I've watched every match he's ever done. He's the biggest hero we have. It's my honor to get to face you at 57 at at your comeback. Nothing has screwed me up more mentally than having to face you. Thank you so much, John.
Great sportsmanship there from Devon Larratt. I think we can all learn a lesson or two from that. John, how do you feel?
I feel great. Even though I fell short today, I'm already a winner. I felt like I was a winner just being able to be here, having the opportunity to arm wrestle Devon. So thank you, Strong Gym and Coresports, for even putting me on that man's level. I did everything I could do to get it close, but obviously got some more work to do.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure from myself, from Coresports. It's a pleasure to have you. Going back to you, Devon, what's next for you?
Really, I'm looking forward to going home and spending time with my family. This is the first Supermatch that I've had in since 2015, where I haven't had Jody at my side. I got Mike tonight. But thanks to all my family at home watching, all my team. Go home, chill out, enjoy the holidays. But arm wrestling is a massive part of my life, and you guys are the premier organization, so any chance I get to be involved, count me in.
Could there be King of the Table 3 against Levon?
Levon is Everest in this sport. And I have a legacy hammer that is calling for him. And I have to do my very best to keep that thing in Canada, but it's a strong pull to Georgia. And that is absolutely my mission, to face Levon Zagnishvili.
Do you have a message for Levon?
Levon, keep getting bigger, buddy. Keep getting bigger.
Thank you very much. Devon Larratt, John Brzenk. What an evening we've had of arm wrestling tonight here live in Dubai at Strong Gym. I'm going to hand you back over to our commentary team, Michael Todd and Neil Pickup, where we're going to have an expert analysis of the evening itself.
Thank you very much, Mark and Michael. A dramatic and in many ways emotional night. And I think before we go on to this roundup, I just want to pick up what I was about to say there before we went to the athlete interviews. Just out of camera shot, the man who's the greatest arm wrestler of all time was bowing down to No Limits Devon Larratt. And I think I speak on behalf of myself and everyone in the sport of arm wrestling to say, brother, you have no right to do that and no need to do that, because myself, Michael Todd, and everybody that's ever put her arms onto an arm wrestling table or enjoyed watching this sport should and always will bow down to you, John Brzenk, because you're the greatest ever to do it. We absolutely love you, and I'll tell you what it is. It's been an honour and a pleasure to call your matches over the years, and it was again tonight. And I don't care whether John Brzenk wins or loses, as we see these images of Gasparini and Kvikvinia, he's inspired us all, and I hope it's not the last time we get chance to commentate on the greatest of all time. Mike, some dramatic stuff tonight, mate.
Absolutely amazing. All three matches were spectacular. Had us on the edge of our seat. I love the Ermes Genadi match. Ermes had to come back. He needed that win. I hated it to see Genadi's wrist being taken like that, but you got to give all the credit to Ermes Gasparini tonight. And then Brandon Allen and Larry Wills, what a spectacular comeback for Brandon. He had a game plan. He stuck to it. I hated to see it for Larry Wills because I've spent a lot of time with him, considering him a friend. But I know he's not done. He's going to keep fighting. He'll come back. And then John Brzenk and Devon Larratt, the greatest of all time versus No Limits. Devon showed up tonight and just showed that there is a new generation of arm wrestling, and John Brzenk got to see what that's all about tonight. But you got to love the man. He's amazing. I'm always going to be a fan, and I'd still like to get on the table with him at some point. But I do want, if Devon pulls LeVon, I want the winner of that, or I'll pull either one of them whenever. Exciting times. I love this sport. Thanks for having me. It's been amazing.
Michael Todd, some closing comments. We saw impressive victories tonight, none more so than that from Devon Larratt, and it sets up that dream match potential with Lavon Saganashvili at King of the Table 3. Will we see it? The stage is set. I'm sure a date will be set. Ladies and gentlemen, this was King of the Table 2 from Dubai. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you to Personal Record, to Boohoo Man. We are underway next with King of the Table 3. And until we see you next time, take it easy, peeps.
See you later.